My name is Linda Schulkoff, and I have the privilege of serving for the next several hours as the chair of the Junior Achievement Staff Alumni Network, who, along with the Achievement Foundation, sponsors the NLC Scholarships. So we're thrilled to have you all with us. I want to spend a little time this morning giving you some background and some other information, but I want to show you a video quickly because those of you who are scholarship recipients, the work you do enables students like this to participate.
Hello, my name is Neha Verghese, and I'm the Chief Operations Officer, or COO, of EVO, Elkin's very own, from Houston, Texas, which is under the JA Company Program of Southeast Texas. I am absolutely so honored to be able to say that I am the recipient of the Jim Sweeney Award for Entrepreneurial Excellence, and I'm honestly just as shocked to be able to receive such a prestigious award from Junior Achievement. And the scholarship serves as that intersection between my deep passion for junior achievement, all that is taught me and done for me, and my need, as I need to afford my college expenses, as I am majoring in biology at the University of Texas at Austin. I am so glad to be able to say that I've learned so much from junior achievement, ranging anywhere from accountability to leadership to problem solving to collaboration and so much more. And I'm so excited to be able to take all these lessons to college and to also stay connected with junior achievement through the alumni program and also just through my EVO team. It has been such an honor, and I'm so glad that I was able to go through this junior achievement program because it really has developed me into a better person. And there has not been another organization throughout high school that has impacted me as much as junior achievement. And I am so excited to be able to continue on with research in medicine in college and take all of these lessons throughout business and apply them to this field. And I just really want to say thank you to Tanya, Daniel, and Mitch Cooey for being the best mentors and really guiding me throughout all these ups and downs and always being there for me by my side to guide me throughout any questions or throughout any problems. And of course, my EVO team for being the most supportive and best group of people that I've ever been able to work with on different projects and products. They've honestly always been there for me, and I wouldn't have done it with any other team. I'm so excited to be able to see where EVO goes and, of course, continue my journey with junior achievement. This organization has done so much for me, and I couldn't express that more or in any better words. They really have become the best group of people that I've met, and I've built so many lifelong connections and built so many lessons from this program. I'm so excited to be able to say that I will be JA alumni, and I'm so excited to have received this award. I really can't wait to see where junior achievement goes, especially through the EVO team, and I'm so excited to see what's in the future.
So without you all, our recipients here today, we wouldn't have students like this. So your work creates this. So I'll start by asking a couple of questions. You've all hopefully had breakfast. And so now it's time for just a little bit of exercise. So if the answer to the question I ask is yes, I want you to stand up and then you'll sit down. So we'll start with a really easy one. If you are currently a member of the JA Staff Alumni Network, please stand. I know, we make the older people. Thank you. If you have ever received a JASAN Scholarship, stand. That would be a JASAN Scholarship. That would be the other time. It's not a trick question. Okay, you may sit now. Now let's see who's attended the most NLCs. If this is your first NLC, please stand. Yay! Okay, stay standing. If you've been to at least 5. No, I'm sorry. This is 5, up to 5 NLCs. Stay standing. Up to 5, up to 10, up to 20, 25. 30. More than 30. Wow. Okay, everybody should be standing now. Okay, there's a lot of experience in this room. So hopefully y'all will take advantage of it. You may now sit. Okay, so who is currently an area president? Okay, so these are our presidents. Glad you're here. Thank you. Whose main job function is development? Yay, the money makes the mission happen. Thank you. Whose main job function is something in programs and education? Okay, so the money makes the education happen, but without the education, the program doesn't exist. Okay, who works in another capacity? It might be operations, it might be building management. Now that we have those again. Okay, see, it's more. There used to be like 4 jobs in jail, and now there's a lot more. Thank you. Go ahead and say it. Who is from east of the Mississippi? All right. You may now say it. Thank you. Who is from west of the Mississippi? Okay. I told you we're going to get your, get the blood moving. Who has worked at either JA National, JA USA, or JA Worldwide? Okay. And who has had more than one job in JA? There you go. Okay, I kind of expected everybody to stand for that. It's in the bottom part of the job description, other duties as yeah. But as you can see, we have just in this room 60 people, a huge diversity of backgrounds, of jobs, of locations, and experiences. So take advantage of the people in this room. I mean, those of you who are currently working for JA are already doing that and have been doing that for the last 2 days. I was professionally with JA for almost 35 years, and I'm kind of in the middling group of tenure of Junior Achievement Staff Alumni Network. The best thing, besides the outcomes of JA, and I was also a JA kid, were the people I met along the way. You can go home to whomever you live with, and they really don't get it. The people you will meet here get it. Call them, text them, email them, find that shoulder that every single one of us needs. So, we are thrilled to be doing this scholarship program. We have been doing it at least since 2019, and we're trying to figure out how much farther back we can do it. In 2020, in the middle of COVID, when there was a conference, one of our members had a brilliant idea. And as the world got more expensive, it was an opportunity for people to go to this conference because they couldn't afford it. And it's still not cheap, but it's important. So we did an internal campaign and had what we thought was a really lofty goal of raising $50,000. We raised $175,000. So for it was unbelievable. And our commitment to JAUSA was we will fund scholarships, 75 the first year, 50, and then 50. So we are now committed to a minimum of 30 scholarships for this year and each of the next 2. So another 60 people in addition to you all will have the benefit of attending this. JASAN does a couple of things. Scholarships are very close to our hearts because the family we all have within JA, you can't explain, you have to experience. And so that's part of why we wanted to do this. We also sponsored the JA Professional Staff Hall of Fame, which recognizes men and women who truly have changed the scope of this organization. You'll hear more about that at lunch. This year's newest laureate is Jim Hingat. It was number 21, and then the other one we have in the room with us today is Donna Buchanan, who's been a coach here in Atlanta. We also sponsor the Flunky Award, which is for a first-time JA president with less than 5 years of experience, more than 2. And you'll hear more about that tonight when the envelope is opened. So we do that. Ed Borowski, who you've probably seen scurrying around all week, is our liaison to JAUSA. So we have a huge positive working relationship. And then the JAUSA team who helps us behind the scenes is unbelievable, and we're incredibly grateful. So from that perspective, I've known Tim forever.
You call me old.
No, because if I call you old, then I have to call me old, and that's not happening. But in his current role as president of JAUSA, we've invited Tim to share a few words.
Thank you, Linda, and really a shout out to our JASAN members who made and continue to make the scholarships possible. As someone who's closer to JASAN than I am to the start of my career, and when I see the JASAN group, I'm celebrating my 40th season with JA. But it's I am old, but it's fun to gather with the retiree group because so many of them I've had the privilege to work with over the years and get to know. And this year's conference theme is focused impact. And the organization, as almost everybody here knows, we're thinking more aspirational about where we want to go. And so a lot of the conversation is about what needs to change, right? And it's daunting and it can be intimidating, but as much of the focus that we're putting on change, also we're spending quite a bit of time thinking about what needs to stay the same. And so much of it is the culture and the legacy that's been built by our retiree group over the years, and each of you as our work goes forward. And, as someone who has benefited from, I call the JA family culture, right? But it's really taking care of our people. So much of the work we're doing now is about how do we support you? How do we make sure we've got the talent, the skills, the leadership in place to really take JA to new heights? Because at the end of the day, the second part of the focus is impact. And we know that while the product has always been good and continues to get better, it's the work that our staff does every day on the street that makes it happen. And so we're equally focused, not just on the product, but on the people. And that's where, the work of JASAN, and you see so many of these folks continue to come back and support JA, passion for the mission, but it's the connections and the understanding that this kind of camaraderie and connectivity is really what makes JA different organizationally than other employment experiences. So we love to share it. The in-person is the best way to do that. Virtual meetings are awesome, but they just don't really get there. And so it's really, we're very, very fortunate to have JASAN be our arm-in-arm partner to help us do the work. And you'll hear more. And with Jim's help, the Achievement Foundation, we're creating a stronger leadership training program, all in the spirit of bringing back some of the things that many of us experienced early in our careers. And quite honestly, during COVID and things, we got away from some things that we probably shouldn't have. So getting back bigger, better, stronger, but it's all about making sure we make the meaningful connection. So with that, Linda, thank you. And thank you to our JASAN friends.
I first met Tim when he was in Milwaukee, and then he moved to Colorado Springs and joined the training department. Back when we were still calling elementary schools K6. Some of you may remember that. So now I'm going to call on Donna Buchanan, who wears several hats. She's a former chair of the Staff Alumni Network. She is a member of the JA Staff Professional Hall of Fame, but today she's joining us as a board member of the Achievement Foundation. Morning, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. It's an honor to be. We're all about loans, scholarships, and grants. And those phrases we all hear and know so much in junior achievement. In 1945, when this started, the people that you hear and read about when you hear JA's history, those are the people who started us. And they started us because they wanted to be sure that JA would always live on. And they wanted a pocket of money to sit off to the side so that no matter what happened in the staff-run Junior Achievement National Organization, there would always be this pocket over there that would ensure that those who passionately believed in junior achievement, which they did, that pocket of money would always be there to make sure JA survived. And that was done, maybe not as complicated as it is now, but it was done primarily through grants and loans. And I was telling my table a minute ago that those grants, one of the reasons I'm still with JA is when I became president of JA at Georgia, I had 2 board members, 4 staff people, and absolutely no money in the bank because the person that preceded me had been there 30 years and they had a wide open vacation policy so that if you left after 30 years, you could have all those vacation days collected over 30 years. And both he and his executive assistant had that, and it wiped away every bit of money that the organization had. And so you couldn't make payroll the very first week. And so when I called the headquarters and I said, these are not the financials you showed me. You showed me the things. I knew they were old, but I had no idea that they were as old, obviously, as they were once you paid all this out. And so I was told to call a man named Joe Francomano. And if you've ever gotten into JA's history much, Joe Francomano was the COO of Junior Achievement nationally for a long, long time and a great guy. I was one of those big things. I knew Joe and I said, Joe, my gosh, please help me. And I was given a $50,000 no interest loan with a 2-year payback. That's how Junior Achievement does. The Achievement Foundation does those things. No interest, payback time with a contract. It's a much more complicated process now than it was back then in 1992. But pay it back easily, early, no interest. It worked out wonderfully, and Jay and Georgia did a big turnaround and worked out well. Anyway, those no interest loans are a very big deal to us. You would have to go through your operations folks, talk to your operations heads and make that happen. Loans, I'd say loans is probably the thing we're most excited about. During COVID, and you'll hear this more later on today, during COVID, how many of you all heard about what the Achievement Foundation did during COVID? Anybody know about that? A lot of the old goldies like me know about it. What we did, we tried to figure out there are 4 members of the Achievement Foundation. What can we do to help the organization? And heaven knows we all knew that there were not going to be bolt-ons. There were not going to be a lot of activities, fundraisers, golf tournaments, a lot of things that you all used to do, a lot of opportunities to go face-to-face to raise money. It wasn't going to happen. So what we did, and there were 15 of us then, there are 14 right now. We lost one of our members. We decided to make grants, and we worked with Jack Kusakowski, the CEO at the time, and another member of our Achievement Foundation board. And we found the areas that we knew, and they wrote an application, they needed the help the most and had the best capability of paying it back. We rarely make grants and loans that aren't to be paid back. We made loans equaling $2.1 million to 30 JA areas of $25,000 to $100,000. And in less than 2 years, every bit of it was paid back. We sort of had a contingency in our mind that it might not all come back, but every bit of it did. We also do scholarships, like you're here, right? And there are a lot of others. The scholarships are always to help the junior achievement areas, which are top priority to us, you all, to help be successful. And so there are a lot of those. If you take a look on our website, if you take a look, we're going to be nested more and more in the junior achievement communications that you automatically get. Because we don't care about advertising to the world. We care about being in touch with you all. You're the most important people to us. There are a couple of fellow members here. Gina Blaney, is right over here. She's on the Achievement Foundation board. And Tim Brennan is here. And we already talked about Jack Kusakowski is here. We're proud to keep him on the board. And Jean Pemack, our chair. And so we're really excited to partner with you. We're very excited to work with you. always work with your president in trying to communicate with us. We're excited about some funding we've recently done, including the new program that Jack Kosakowski is working on, LEAD, which is partnering with international presidents and U.S. presidents for understanding and communication of some of the things that some of us heard about yesterday going on around the world. So there's a lot of exciting things and a lot more coming based on what we heard from Jack Harris that I know a lot of you have heard about. We have always had an extra special emphasis on the company program because a lot of people involved in the Achievement Foundation have been kids in JA a long, long time ago. But what we're excited to see is the depth of programming that's coming. And so you're going to see a lot more support over the years from the Achievement Foundation. So thank you very much for coming. We were excited to support you and we're even more excited to see you here. And we hope we see you at future conferences for a long time to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Donna. That's the formal part. One person I really want to thank who has led this effort the past 2 years is Lucy O'Donnell. And so Lucy is a member of the executive committee of the Junior Achievement Staff Alumni Network, and she is passing the torch to another of our members to manage this process for at least the next couple of years. But Lucy's done a great job, and you all have seen her name, and now you've seen her face, which is really important. And we also could not have done this without Michelle Green at JAUSA, because she manages the internal process. So it is our hope you'll stick around. Your next meeting starts at 8:30. I will let you know at lunch there is reserved seating for the JSAN members as well as the scholarship folks. So the tables are marked according to Michelle, and apparently they're fairly close to the doors, making it easy to go to the restroom. That may be more important to some of us than to others, but it is important. But one of the most important things about this breakfast to us is the opportunity for our newer members of JA to meet other newer members of JA, as well as those of us who spent our careers. So we're here till 8:25, when you have to scurry down the hall. So please enjoy your time together. For the JSAN members, we will reconvene at 8:45 after they have a chance just to clean the tables off. So we will be back here at 8:45 for the rest of our meeting. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming to JA. And I do have to say, because you're in DC, right? So we got the privilege last year of hearing this wonderful woman speak from the perspective of an administrator in the education system. And what better, and now she's just going to go on the table probably, but what better demonstration of how attractive JA can be is that when someone retires from one role, they slide right into the other. So we're grateful to have you now officially as part of our organization. Absolutely. Good. Make new friends, have fun, learn something, and we will see you all later today.